What's up, guys? Good morning. It is just before 7 o'clock on Thursday, June 2nd. So I know 2 videos in the same week being recorded. Kind of crazy, right? Today's a big day. We have weights that wasn't on my schedule this morning, so I'm about to get ready to do that now. I'm drinking my pre-workout, or I drank it already. Then we have a run later today. It's just a 35-minute Zone 2 run. And then we have a pool session. So we have 1,700 yards tonight in the pool. No real drills, just getting used to swimming again. You know, just taking up the different speeds, different distances we're going. I think I'll talk about it later, but it's, you know, like maximum block in the pool is 500 yards. So it's not too bad of a swim session. But today is also a big day because I think it becomes official that we sold the rental house. We accepted the offer yesterday, and we actually had an offer a week ago, or about a week ago, but they backed out like literally as I was signing the document. So yesterday we accepted an offer on the rental property that we're selling. There's a whole reason why we're selling that, and if you watch back far enough, I think it was just before the last Chasing Kona season started, so like in end of September, early October, we actually bought a rental house. Go back and find that video. Matter of fact, I'll link it up wherever the card goes. Watch that video to find out why we bought the house, and then let me work out, and I will tell you why we're selling it in the first place, and then the whole bunch of bullshit that happened between like March and us getting ready to go, and why that whole time period absolutely sucked. So I'm gonna go ahead and fire up the workout. It's shoulders and HIIT today. So we got shoulders mixed with HIIT intervals and core. The way the workout works is we got a superset of shoulders, 10 reps each, and then we have a 30-second HIIT cardio move at the end to finish it off. So each block essentially is three rounds. So we'll do, like, let's just say it's front raise and upright rows. I don't know if that's today. We'll do 10 front raises, 10 upright rows, 30 seconds of HIIT. Do that 3 times, go on to the next superset. So it's a quick one. It's only like 33 minutes, and then we'll go right into core, which is 3 sets of 2 exercises, each one 30 seconds a piece. So it's like you're doing 30 seconds of a move, 10 seconds transition, 30 seconds of a move, repeat 30 seconds, or 2 more times. So that's today's workout. I should be ready to go in about 2 to 3 minutes, and we will talk a little bit more post-workout. I'm keeping the hoodie on just because I want a little bit of a shoulder pump. I don't get pumped up these days. I'm just not hitting the volume on my shoulders like I used to. Maybe in the off season I'll get back to lifting really, really heavy and building up some muscle. But right now it's just about sweating and keeping the water weight off. That's the goal. So remember, we are still trying to focus on getting down to 200 pounds for this race, and we started at 220. Now I do know that there was a little bit of water weight from the day before Memorial Day. We had burgers and fries and a whole bunch of stuff. So there was little water weight gain. It was like 3 pounds of water weight gain going into Tuesday morning. So if that comes off super fast, that's why. And that's that. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop rambling, get ready for this workout. I'll see you in a second. So shoulders in 3, 2, 1. workout is done. Let's talk a little bit about the house situation, and then we'll get into the rest of today's workout. So this has kind of been leading up since March. So if you recall, back in like September, October, we had a friend that was in desperate need of a place to live that he could afford. He wasn't working. He was working, but he was kind of like getting cash jobs because he was still kind of waiting for his citizenship to come through and his legalized papers that he could actually get work, like on the books. So we were looking for a rental property anyway, so we ended up buying a house that they could afford and renting out to him as our tenant. Now, the first few months, it was a lot of work. I was driving him, getting up early, not working out, picking him up, dropping him off at work, coming home, going to work, then picking him up from work, taking him home, and then I would actually get my stuff done. So I sacrificed a lot of my own schedule to help them out. They finally started, it eased up in like January, like after Christmas. He ended up getting a car somehow, got the car, was able to drive himself to and from work, okay? In March, we found out his paperwork was coming through and he was actually getting his social security card and social security number, so he was able to, apply for things on his own, actually get a job where he's actually on payroll and not just kind of like working cash jobs. So my wife and I came to the decision that because we want to buy land and build our own house, with the exact way we want it, not one of these cookie cutter homes that's going up all across the world right now. We wanted to customize our own house on some land, and to do that, we need to get rid of the mortgages that we have, so we can put all of our money and all of our focus on one house. So we told them in March, we said, hey, just so you know, once your paperwork is official and you actually get your cards and everything, we're going to give you 6 months to figure out a living situation for yourselves, because we want to sell that house. Okay, we didn't want it on our books anymore. Apparently he didn't like that. He thought for some reason he was going to live there forever and he was going to will that house down to his kids, and it's like, dude, it's our house. Like, if anything, my kids are going to get that house, which they're not. So he decided that he was going to violate the lease, get a dog, hide it from us for a little over a month. When we finally figured out that he had a dog, we told him, hey, you broke the lease, come over, pay the rent and the bills that we also had in our name, because he couldn't put bills legally in his name yet. He came over. There was a big argument. We ended up giving him a 30-day notice to get out of the house. So it was like basically, and terminating the lease on site due to violation. After a month and a half of fighting with him to try to get the March and April rents due, he decided he was going to get out of the house a week early and piss off on all the money that I owed you. Sold our washer and dryer that we were going to sell with the house, and all that other stuff, right? Shorting us $3,800 in the process. So all the repairs we had to do, because they needed to fix that house after the kids were running wild, with the rent, the bills, the washer and dryer that we tacked on, and all the cleaning and stuff and dumping of the furniture that they left behind, they ended up shafting us like $3,800. So that, my wife found that out the day she was going out to St. George, and she told me over the phone, and I was trying to leave it out of my mind. I don't think that affected me there, but all that stuff has happened. So we've been playing catch up financially. We're not in a bad spot. We've just been trying to get rid of that. So we sold that house. We accepted the offer. We're trying to figure out if they can move the closing date 1 week earlier to make it that we can close it out in June. But yeah, so we accepted the offer yesterday on the house, and we still made a little bit of money. Nothing spectacular, nothing to brag, write home about, but we got that out from underneath us. So now our focus is going to be, once we clear that out, we're going to start looking at home plans and just getting ideas, so we can take our ideas to a custom builder. They can draft up the plans, and we can kind of go from there. So we found a plot of land we looked at. Not sure if it'll be there in like a month, but who knows? And we might flip and go try to get that. I don't know what the plan is, but the ultimate plan is we are going to buy a couple acres of land, build our house, and I'm going to build a separate gym on property as well, whether it be attached to the house or a standalone building. I don't know. That's the rest of the bullshit that we had to catch you up on. So it is what it is. It's over. It's done with. Now we're all just looking forward at what we have coming. Now that we have the house, the offer accepted. So now it's just a matter of we have to get to closing so we can just pay off that mortgage and kind of go from there. So that's where we're at there. Right now it's 10:15 in the morning or so, and I have a couple meetings lined up today that I have to do. So once we get done with some work stuff, I have a 35-minute zone 2 run, and then I have 1,700 yards at the pool that I have to do tonight. It'll be my first pool swim in over a month. I think the last time I was at the pool was like the end of April. So it's been a while since I've been in the pool. Luckily, it's only 1,700 yards. It should be like a fairly quick swim, nothing too stressful. Kind of just getting the feel of the water again. Remember, I'm only going to the pool 1 day a week for this prep, so the rest is going to be open water swims. So I'm going to finish up at work. I'm going to keep my eating on track. Like I said, I'm still working on building the full day of eating schedule, so I know, make sure it's dialed in before I start saying, hey, this is what I'm eating, and then it'd be wrong. Like the last one, I think I even miscalculated. If you go back to like one of the ones during last prep, like my calculations were way off because I forgot to add something. Anyway, I'm going to go finish up work meetings. It won't be till like 4 o'clock until I get a chance to run. But like I said, it's only 35 minutes, so 35 minutes isn't a long time. I can get that done, come home, change, and then go to the pool. That's probably only going to be like a 35 to 40 minute workout as well. And then we can look forward into tomorrow. So that's where we're at. I will update you when I get ready to go run. All right, so day is done. Right now it is about 10 to 4. I'm kind of dragging ass today, so I'm going to go and change, take some more pre-workout because I need more. And then I got a 35-minute run, which we will talk about the motivation going into this race and this race prep. Like, what am I going for? What's keeping me going? What's keeping me pushing hard, and why am I pushing so hard? And then we got to swim, so we'll wrap it up after the swim. It's Thursday. It's been a long friggin' week, considering it's been a short week. So, all right, I'm gonna go change, and I will get ready to run, and I will see you out on the road.
I ran up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, had me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again.
So, what exactly is my motivation to keep going, or even to go harder this time than I went last time? Well, plain and simple, I failed last time, and I kind of believe the mentality where you don't learn when you're winning, you learn when you lose. You learn a lot about yourself, your drive, your passion, your motivation, and you learn a lot about who you are as a competitor when you lose. I watched Kobe Bryant's Muse years ago when it came out. There's a little documentary on his life. And it was his rookie year. They were playing Utah in the playoffs, first round. And his first couple shots were air balls. Unlike this kid. They lost that series. And it was right after the game, the elimination game. He's driving around LA. 1 o'clock in the morning or so, I think. Don't quote me 100%. But he called the trainer and was like, hey, meet me in the gym. And he started working on all the things that he sucked at against Utah in the playoffs. And we're talking hours after the game was over, he was back in the gym working out and training. Well, that's kind of how I was. I got back from St. George on Sunday. Monday morning, I was back in the gym because I knew I had a lot to work on, and I wasn't going to let that failure, slow me down. So, failing at St. George is part of my reason for wanting to go so hard, because now I have to prove to myself that it wasn't a fluke. I have to prove to myself that I can do it, that I can get back to that I can elevate myself, my training and my racing to another level. A level I wasn't ready to get to. So that's part of it.
Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what, add it up, bankroll, euro.
And I think because of failing at St. George, I'm almost eager and excited to push harder, because now I want to get back. I have to get back to that main stage to prove that I belong there in the first place. I fell in and got lucky with St. George. I signed up for the race. They made it to championship. It got tougher and I wasn't ready to go. But I learned a limitation of my body, at least in the swim, that I probably wouldn't have figured out if I didn't do that race. So that's part of it. I can tell you this, the haters, the doubters, I don't give a shit. They're not part of my motivation to get back. I gotta do this for me.
Peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what, add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up, matter what. Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me, it's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold-hearted, now I'm backed up.
Motivation's gotta come from within. Your desire to be better and to always be improving has to come from your desire to better yourself and always improve on yourself. You can't let these outside sources dictate how hard you go and how you try to gain progress. You just have to go for it. And if you weren't happy with your last effort, improve that next time. For me, I wasn't happy with my St. George swim. Clearly, I didn't pass it. I will not do the same at Chattanooga. And now, I'm gonna keep my eyes on the prize.
Once a month, I don't rap much. I just take the money and go stack up. Only buying Carhartt, car cards, to get tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault, I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, bankroll.
Alright, so we are done. 35 minutes. We covered 3.61 miles and at a 9:43 minute per mile pace. It is hot as hell. I wanted to quit about 2 miles in, but let's go inside. Let's do the new thing that we're adding to all run days, and then we'll get ready to go to the pool and get this swim done. All right, so the latest thing we're adding to the routine is we're doing a little mobility exercises. Not that I technically am suffering from any mobility issues. However, it's just good with all the running we're going to be doing to just make sure the hips and the ankles and the knees and the lower back and everything else that has mobility in the shoulders, make sure just everything just stays loose and flexible and nothing kind of tightens up. So I'm kind of just not winging it, but definitely winging it. And I'll pull up 645 at some point to do some mobility down the road. But first I'm just gonna kind of, frog, little bird dog, cat cow, some basic yoga poses, just kind of stretching a little bit, some hamstring stretches to make sure that I'm good. I'm only gonna do about 10 to 12 minutes of it, so just want to stay nice and loose after all these runs. I'm no expert at this. Like I said, I'll pull up 645 for the mobility workout at some point. I just don't have time right now to pull that up. But we're just gonna hang here, hang each stretch for about 10 to 15, maybe 20 seconds, just to kind of lengthen the muscles out, keep them loose. I am extremely saturated in sweat from that run. It was hot. So that run, the weather app says it was about 90 degrees. Feels like 90 degrees. Humidity is still up in the upper 50s, which isn't too bad for down here. Man, it felt like it was more humid than that. But this heat, it's gonna suck. I gotta run slower to be able to maintain my pace, to maintain a low heart rate. So if I look at my heart rate data, and I'll look at it in Garmin, not Training Peaks, my heart rate, my average, and I ran a 940 something minute per mile average. My average heart rate was a 156. 12 weeks ago, 10 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago even, for that run, it probably would have been like the 130s, upper 130s, low 140s. So the heat is definitely playing a factor in my heart rate. And it's just something we have to adapt to. That's why we're doing all our runs later in the afternoon, because my body has to, I have to get used to running in the heat. The more I can get used to running in the heat, the better I'll be come race day, because it's gonna be hot on race. It could be hot. There was one race a couple years ago where it was in the 70s, for Chattanooga. So you can't predict the weather, so you have to train for the worst. Okay, so that's what we're doing here. We are training for the worst possible weather conditions out there, the heat and humidity, and we're just gonna go with that. So this one's kind of awkward to do, but it's great for hip mobility. That abductor and that groin muscle. So once I get out of this frog pose, I'll end this clip here because this is really just weird. All right, I'll see you guys at the pool. Just a little trick of the endurance trade. If you're feeling like you just got down from a run and you're cramping up and you don't have any electrolyte supplement nearby, pickle juice will do the trick. A couple sips of this, you'll stop cramping pretty quick. So real quick, another thing on the pickle juice. If you don't have electrolytes, it's great. And I think it has something to do with the brine and the salt in the vinegar that helps with cramping. I don't know, but it's almost like a magical elixir. It's great. They sell little pickle shots at most convenience stores now, but especially at races, man, those pickle shots are clutch. So basically what I do is after every hot run or long bike, I'll come in, just take a sip of the pickle juice, put it back, and then my wife even knows now that it's summertime to start saving all the pickle jars with the pickle juice left in them. Because after a long run, just come take a swig and that's that. But the last thing I need to talk about is how I'm going to stay focused and motivated for 16 weeks, right? Because let's be real, I'm going to get deep into this training and chat, and I'm going to get further from St. George than every day. So how do I keep St. George in my sights to remember that failure while still looking at Chattanooga so that I don't repeat what happened in St. George? Well, I'm pretty strategic with this, okay? First off, YouTube is great because YouTube, I'm always seeing videos from St. George, whether they be race reports or race recaps, or my home feed will just show me, hey, here's the Ironman St. George World Championship race, like the pro race. I don't need to see that, but I want to see that because every time I see it, I'm going to remember. I have one of the pictures. I have this picture right here sitting on my desk, the one I took at St. George. As a reminder, what I'm going to do is when I get outside, I didn't do it yet, but I have a little clothes hanging rack outside where I'm gonna put my bike for the bike rides. I'm gonna take that little chamois cloth that you normally see on my wall, but I got one from St. George. I'm gonna put that out there, so as I'm riding my bike, I'm staring right at that cloth. And then of course, what do I do when I'm out and I'm running or I'm swimming and I'm not at home to have my reminders? It's the athlete bracelet from St. George. I'm not taking it off until after Chattanooga, unless they make me take it off at Chattanooga. This is a constant reminder right here in my face 24/7 of St. George. And every time I see that, I'm gonna remember, oh dude, you feel you gotta work harder. So if I'm running and I see this, or I'm swimming and I'm struggling and I'm getting gas, I'm tired, that's on my wrist. It's not going nowhere. That's my reminder. So that's how I'm staying motivated for this next 16 weeks. I know it's probably some stupid reasons, some of you are probably gonna go, dude, that's so retarded. Just look forward and look to be better. 2017, Lionel Sanders was leading the run at Kona, the World Championship. With 3 miles to go, Patrick Longa passed him on the final stretch, the final 5K. He passed him. Then when Lionel started training again, he was in his basement gym, his home gym, on the treadmill, staring at a picture that was taken at the exact moment he got passed. That's what he stared at every time he ran for an entire year. Unless he was running outside, obviously. I'm kind of on that level. I want to see my failure in front of me, and that's just going to keep me focused and keep my blood boiling, so that when I can't help but to remember that and blow past it. So when I do better at Chattanooga, when I finish Chattanooga, it's going to feel that much sweeter and that much greater. Like, I've already been envisioning me crossing the finish line at Chattanooga, but it's going to feel that much more awesome with these constant reminders in my face. So let me get to the pool, and then once I'm done with that workout, we will wrap up this video and go from there. But we're in the thick of shit now. Like, we're getting started. Like, it's full send from here on out. I'll see you guys later. Seems like it's been like forever since I've been here. I forgot I had to go back to the car and look at my number to see what it was. So 1,700 yards. Let's go. All right, 1,700 yards done. I think I did it in like minute 59 per 100, but it was 300 yards slow warm up. Then it was 500 at an RPE of 3, 400 at an RPE of 4, and 300 at an RPE of 5, and then a 200 slow cool down. I think for the cool down, I pretty much floated on my back, barely kicking for 4 minutes. So it was like 5.5 minutes to go 200 yards at the end. Can't say this one felt good. Some of my goggles were leaking around during the second interval of 400. So around 250, they started leaking, and it was just pissing me off. So I had to fix that. And then I was trying to go faster, and my heart was just feeling really weird. I don't know, but my heart was racing, my breathing was off. Just couldn't get comfortable for that last 300. So it is what it is. Today's done. First pool workout is done. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna eat, rest up. I got a power bike tomorrow, and then I think I have total body HIIT cardio as well. Not sure which one I'm gonna do first. We shall see tomorrow. But I'm gonna end this episode here. Thanks for watching. Hit the like and subscribe button if you want to follow along this season. And leave a comment if there's anything specific you want me to talk about. You know, I'm always up for suggestions. All right, guys. See you in the next one.